the earlier years were not easy, but never have we ever, and I want to be clear on this, never have we ever been in a situation or embraced a situation that involves transaction of money for sexual services. My co-wife and I are prostitutes. We are wives of one man, and although that might be triggering for many people, understand that there was a disclaimer before I came up in this video.
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, viewed as an educational material you are about to experience, could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it.
Assalamualaikum, peace. I'm Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships, but you also may know me as the Confidence Coach. Yes, that is right. I help high-achieving women step into their power and elevate their confidence without them feeling overwhelmed or inadequate, so that they can create a life of ultimate fulfillment. I had to learn how to do that for myself through much study, much traveling, much work, much investing in me, and let my ego get out of my way. I had to push it to the side. So with that, I want to transition over to a topic that's very pressing and upsetting. I'm not going to lie. This is something that is really a label, a stereotype that others place on women in polygyny. And that is sister wife, sex workers. Yes, you heard it. This is a new label that I just got exposed to on social media. Someone threw around a stereotype or a misconception, some disrespect, if you will, that polygyny and sister wife equals sex worker. We are husband sex workers. That's all we are, glorified sex workers. And let me tell you something about prostitution and sex work. There's transaction of money and funds that go on with that lifestyle. There's promiscuity that goes on with that lifestyle. It's not wifehood. It's much different than that. There's some pimps and there's some hoeing going on in that lifestyle. I don't care if they try to package it as high class or a call girl. That is not what women in polygyny, which is the practice of having more than one wife, that's not what we do. There's commitment to stability here. There's commitment to family and structure and respecting the role as a wife here. Now, I can't argue that there's some men that have ill intentions on women. And they might say, well, you know, this is my wife, but there's no commitment. They might slap the label of wife on certain relationships that they have, and that's their business. But what happens is it overlaps into what goes on with us as women in polygyny, as wives in polygyny. It's very degrading, it's disrespectful, and it's simply not true. When you are married to someone, if you are in monogamy or polygyny, there's an understanding. There is indeed a commitment. There's a contract to be married, whatever that means for you within that contract. But what it is not is prostitution, because that's what, some sick people are labeling us as. Our husband is just collective prostitutes. Now, I'm a practicing Muslim. So is Coach Nazir, and so is Coach Nyla. We're in our family together. Now, the earlier years were not easy, but never have we ever, and I want to be clear on this, never have we ever been in a situation or embraced a situation that involves transaction of money for sexual services. My co-wife and I are prostitutes. We are wives of one man, and although that might be triggering for many people, understand that there was a disclaimer before I came up in this video. You might get mad. You might not be ready. You might be triggered. You might be insulted. The optics of him sitting between two women that are his wives might get on your nerves. But you came over to here. So If you don't like us, you're here. See, if I don't like somebody, I don't have time. I don't make time. I don't create time for them. I move on because I have other things to do than sit up and waste my time in comments not liking someone because they're practicing something that is predated Islam, although Islam gets the bad rap for it, that we've not asked them to sustain us or our children. That's what we do. And we decided that we're in a family now. I'll tell you what that means. You're either going to be in polygyny or you're not. But you can't do both and it be effective. And it work. And you be happy. Because if you don't want to be a part of something, you'll find every way or every reason not to be. And some things don't work out. Some of it don't work out. Some people have to make the ultimate decision in divorce because it is not serving them. But what my co-wife and I are not offering is a service for sex, for money. We're wives, not prostitutes. So when we throw these labels around and we embrace them and go, I'm just this glorified sex worker, girl, I'm just playing. There's truth in a joke. I don't care how large, I don't care how small. And you internalize that crap. So if you wish to give yourself that label and say, we're just glorified sex workers and make a joke out of your life, then that is how you proceed in it. So I'm always going to call myself, which I've been for the last 29 years, as a wife. That's what I decided to do. I decided to remain married to Coach Nazir. And if we decide that that's not going to work, then we'll make the decision. But by no means is anyone here against their will. Is he holding on to the women or saying, you know what, let me tell you two something. You're going to work this business and you're going to get this money and then you're going to hand it all to me and I'm going to pay the bills and I'm going to do the stuff. No, our money's ours. For those that might be confused, let's be clear on it. Let's be clear on it. Because that is a right that we have in Islam as two Muslim women. Okay? He can be the leader and is. He can be the husband he is. He can decide what way is best to steer his family. Look, I'm not the one that's running all this. I'm not the father. I'm not the husband that is the head. I'm not the imam of this family. And I don't want that job. It's an impossibility for me. It's not something I want to embrace. It's not something I'm built for. It's not my right. I'm not the man. I love being a woman. And I love being a wife. But what we are not, and I'll reiterate that, are sex workers. So let's be really mindful. Let's get clarity on what we say to ourselves about ourselves in our marriage. I'm not saying, polygyny is the easiest thing I've ever done. No, never said that. Never said that. But it's not the most difficult thing I've done. The most difficult things that I've done involve loss of life. Burying my 13-year-old sister and my father, my grandfather, my grandmother, my aunt, my brother-in-law. May Allah grant him Jannah. At the young age of 16, my father-in-law, may Allah grant him Jannah. May they be reunited. May we be reunited in Jannah. So those are the things that are difficult. Again, it's not easy, but it's not impossible. But one of the things out of the many that we need to do as women is stop allowing others in our presence, because people going to say what they say on the internet all the time. That's what they do. That's what they do. They hide behind a keyboard. They hide behind no profile pictures, or they keep making profile pictures and saying hateful things. It's like watching a toddler have a tantrum and they need attention. You learn to go, you'll be all right. When you decide you're going to get up off the floor and quit kicking your legs like a child, you'll be okay. but I'm not easily moved. So when we embrace these words and say, yeah, it's okay for you to call me a sex worker in my presence, because that's all I am to. Not examining, not understanding the stereotype, not caring about we're wives. There's honor here. There was a commitment on two sides to remain here for however long, to work on ourselves, to build a family, to expand a family, to help raise one another, raise our children in our family. That doesn't work for everybody, that's fine. You get that? I'm talking about best practices always. Does it happen overnight? No. So please give yourself some grace and not compare your year 1, year 2, 3 with our year 14 in this. Because it's not fair to you. Because people have a growing curve and a learning curve. All right? You don't want to take that curve too fast, too hard, with anger, with way too much emotion. Get in your car right now, take a hard turn really fast with a lot of anger and emotion. You might not live by the end of it. Or you be dealing with a lot of great bodily injury. So that's all we're saying. But I just want you to know that when you say, it's cool, you make jokes and say, they calling you a prostitute when they say, look, sister wife, what's the difference? Sister wife, sex worker. He owns your body. He's in control of your body. Who laying up all day, spread eagle, spread wide open, and just laying there? There's other things to do. And one of the other things to do is not call yourself out of your name and not embrace these worldly terms and apply them to yourself and your marriage and your husband and your children and polygyny, and then expect to feel okay. Expect to feel good about yourself. I've never ever experienced someone saying that to me in my face. I saw this on social media. I'm like, sister wives are nothing but the man's prostitutes. And what kind of man says, you know what, this is what you all are? Pimps. So when you say it, when you embrace it, when you allow others to say it in your presence, you're saying, okay, you know what? I'll allow you to call my husband a pimp out of his name, out of his intention. There's so much difference between the two. And stop making it okay to invite that energy into your life, into your marriage, into your family. Because once you start saying it, you'll start believing that. Okay. So I just wanted to come on here and let you know, if that is the energy you have, because everybody doesn't have that energy. Some people do. That it's not serving you. And it's not true. And it's not true. And if it is, honey, you got more problems on your plate than OPR. Okay? I just want to say that. There needs to be some examining and reflecting on what you want to go out in the world and be. But if you know that's not what you are, don't embrace these terms. Because wives are committed. It's an honorable role. Let's give it that energy always. That doesn't mean we got it all figured out. That doesn't mean it's perfect. It doesn't mean we're not upset with our husband. It doesn't mean he's not upset with us. It doesn't mean our co-wives are these evil women running around breaking up homes. It just means we're figuring things out. I love figuring out who I am. I love it. Who I'm going to grow into. Because I know the next time around, the next time I learn something, I'm going to grow into a better, Coach Fatimah than I was the day before. But what I'm not going to grow into, what I'm not going to embrace, is being called a sex worker for the man that I've been married to for almost 30 years. Because that's not what I am. And I've never been there for anyone, for any man. So just know, thoughts are things, and your brain is always listening to you, right or wrong. It's always up there listening. I'm an idiot? Yeah, we're an idiot. I'm a sex worker? Yeah, you probably are. I'm loved? Yeah, we are loved. I'm celebrated? Yes. I'm protected. I'm married. I'm a wife. I'm beautiful. I'm happy. I'm fulfilled. Our brain hears that too. And when we tell ourselves that, when we live that, when we are that, and we're still working on ourselves, we still feel good. There's still honor there, and intention, and productivity, and some peace. You don't need anybody's permission to tell you that it's okay to be happy. Give it to yourself. Don't wait on nobody else. Okay? So with that being said, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and share this video, because sharing is caring. And in the comments, we're going to put honor the role of wife. You put that on the end of there, okay? Because that's what we are. So let's not diminish ourselves. Other people try to do that. They try. They try to do it with me. It don't work. Believe me, it doesn't work, because I decided that it won't. So again, make sure you guys comment, like, subscribe. If you want more details on my Nourishing Fulfillment Pathway to Empowerment coaching program, make sure you visit me at coachfatimah.com for details. But until then, I'm going to leave you guys with some GLC. Listen to me real good this time, okay? Make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, and connecting on a higher level every day. I'll see you in the next one. Coach Fatimah, Assalamu alaikum. Peace.